Sri Lanka, the island of paradise, with captivating and enchanting charms. The island's spell, snared by an age-old magic of scorching sun, great green waters, purple dusks, gushing waterfalls, rising blue mountains, and starry heavens, the wonders of the country of oasis. Colombo, the heart of the evergreen island, shrouded by the waters of magnificent sea. The city of promises, kindling in all hearts a hope of tomorrow. The harmonious blend of all races whispers to the ear the unheard stories of glorious past, rejuvenating the town center. University of Colombo. The pioneering academia of the history of higher seats of learning in Sri Lanka, the most respected and acclaimed higher seat of learning of the nation, a legacy of intellectuals located in the heart of Colombo. The initiative nucleus of the academic atmosphere was formed by amalgamating the Ceylon Medical College, founded in 1870, and the Ceylon University College in 1921, which were incorporated into the university later. By April 1942, the University of Colombo was established by the State Council. The first Vice-Chancellor of the new university, Sir Ivo Jennings, architect of academic nature in Sri Lanka. From colonialism to modernity, our proud history runs over 148 years of an uninterrupted stand with multicultural, multi-ethnic and multi-religious student and staff population, fostering social harmony, cultural diversity, unity and equal opportunity. Strive to be a center of excellence of regional and international repute, building synergies between knowledge, education, research and entrepreneurship. It is our vision. The University of Colombo comprises around 185 degree programs, about 25,000 students, 700 academics and researchers. Varsity with the power of empowering the nation. We excel at promoting student-centered teaching practices, self-directed learning through assignments which foster discovery of knowledge, creative productions, and collaborative projects. Our 9 faculties, multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary in nature, and strengthened by 56 academic departments, a campus, a school, 7 institutes, and 8 centers. The university widens foreign and local undergraduates' horizons to face the global challenges ahead of them. Faculty of Graduate Studies offers diploma and postgraduate courses of a multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary nature, concentrating on capacity building by entering into linkages with the outside world to equip the youth with all necessary knowledge. We work hand in hand with outside corporate sectors to ensure that the university caters to the needs of the day. The library supports the university vision with up-to-date materials, books, and other resources where both staff and students communicate and express their creative and scholarly ideas in respective disciplines. The international unit of the University of Colombo is proud to have links with almost all internationally recognized universities, with the view of providing scholars with the latest global scholarships. The warm and friendly academic atmosphere, together with recreational facilities and other services through experience of enjoyment, physical fitness, and increased self-confidence opportunities for togetherness, are also parts of our academic endeavors. Heading to Metropolitan University, surrounded by modern and international outlook and character, with easy access to international information and resource centers, libraries, theaters, sports complexes, and other facilities. Modern technology incorporates with scientific research, blends into writers, poets, critics, and artists, maintaining international academic standards, contributing to the national capital, and stepping into globalization with high academic profiles. Inspired by the past, we shape the future towards the 21st century. University of Colombo. Wisdom enlightens.
කරුණාවෙන් සවන් දෙන්න. කුලපති ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ සහ උපකුලපතිතුමිය ඇතුළු ආචාර්යවරුන් හා නිලධාරීන්ගෙන් සමන්විත පෙරහැර උපාධි සැමරුම් ශාලාවට පැමිණෙන විට සියලුම දෙනා තම අසුන් වලින් නැගී සිටිය යුතුය. එම අමුත්තන් වේදිකාවේ අසුන්ගත් පසුව සියලුම දෙනාහට අසුන්ගත හැකිය. උපාධි සැමරුම් උත්සවය පවතින කාලය තුල කිසිදු පුද්ගලයෙකුට කුමන හේතුවක් නිසා හෝ ශාලාවෙන් බැහැර යා නොහැකිය. සියලුම කැමරා, ජංගම දුරකථන හා වීඩියෝ කැමරා ආදිය ක්‍රියාවිරහිත කළ යුතුය. උපාධි සැමරුම් උත්සවය අවසාන වී කුලපති ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ සහ උපකුලපතිතුමිය ඇතුළු ආචාර්යවරුන් හා නිලධාරීන්ගෙන් සමන්විත පෙරහැර උපාධි ප්‍රදානෝත්සව ශාලාවෙන් නික්ම යන විට සියලුම දෙනා තම අසුන් වලින් නැගී සිටිය යුතුය. එම පෙරහැර ශාලාවෙන් නික්ම ගිය විට සියලුම දෙනාහට ශාලාවෙන් බැහැර යා හැකිය. මෙම උපදෙස් තරයේ පිළිපදින ලෙස ඔබගෙන් ඉල්ලා සිටිමු.
උපාධි පින්නමීම සඳහා 2019 වසරේ උපාය සැමරීම උත්සවයේ මෙම සතිවාරයේ දැන් නැවත ආරම්භ කරමු.
பட்டங்கள் வழங்குவதற்கென 2019ஆம் ஆண்டிற்கான சம்பிரதாயபூர்வமான பட்டமளிப்பு வைபவத்தின் தற்போதைய அமர்வை மீள ஆரம்பித்து வைக்கிறேன்.
I declare the current session of the year 2019 ceremonial graduation session for the conferment of degrees.
කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ කුලපති ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ, පාලක සභාවේ සමාජිකයින්, මණ්ඩපාධිපතිතුමන්, පීඨාධිපතිවරුන්, ආයතන අධ්‍යක්ෂකවරුන්, ලේකකාධිකාරී, මූල්‍යාධිකාරී, වැඩබලන පුස්තකාලාධිපතිනි, අධ්‍යයන සහ සහායක කාර්ය මණ්ඩලය වෙනුවෙන් 2019 වර්ෂයේ උපාධි සැමරුම් උත්සවයට සැපැමිණි ඔබ සැම ඉතා උණුසුම්ව සාදරයෙන් පිළිගනිමි. කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ උපාධි අපේක්ෂකයන් වන ඔබහට ආඩම්බර වීමට බොහෝ කාරණා ඇති අතර ඔබගේ ජයග්‍රහණය පිළිබඳව අප සියලු දෙනාම සැබවින් සතුටු වන්නෙමු. කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ විද්‍යාර්ථීන් ලෙස COVID-19 වසංගතය හමුවේ අභියෝගවලට මුහුණ දීමේදී ඔබ විසින් විදහා දක්වන ලද දරා ගැනීමේ හැකියාව සහ ඉවසීමේ හැකියාව අගය කිරීමට මම මේ අවස්ථාවක් කර ගනිමි. ආදරණීය දෙමව්පියනි, හිතවතුනි, මිත්‍රවරුනි, අප සුන්දර දිවයිනේ අනාගත පරපුර වෙනුවෙන් ඔබ විසින් දරන ලද වෙහෙස සහ දුටු සිහින මල්ඵල දරන අන්දම දැක ගැනීමට ලැබෙන අද දිනය ඔබගේ ජීවිතයේ අමතක නොවන මොහොතක් වන බව නොඅනුමානයි. ඔබ සියලු දෙනාට සදා අනුස්මරණීය දිනයක් ප්‍රාර්ථනා කරමි. සියලු සෞඛ්‍ය මාර්ගෝපදේශනයන් පිළිපදිනේ සුරක්ෂිතව පසුවන මෙන් ඔබ සමගෙන් කාරුණිකව ඉල්ලා සිටිමි. ස්තුතියි. කොළඹ පල්හැලකතින් බේන්දර් පේරවේ උරුපුරහල් වලහත්ත ලයිවර පීඩාදිවදහල් பனித்தர்கள் பதிவானர் நிதியாளர் பதில் நூறல் கல்வியாளர்கள் மற்றும் உதவி ஊழியர்கள் சார்பாக உங்கள் ஒவ்வொருவரும் 2019 ஆண்டிற்கான சம்பிரதாய பூர்வமான பொது பட்டமளிப்பு விழாவிற்கு அன்புடன் வரவேற்கிறேன். கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் பட்டதாரி லாப உலங்குக்கு பெருமை படுவதற்கு நிறைய வடிவங்கள் இருக்கிறது. உங்கள் சாதனைகள் குறித்து நாங்கள் மிகவும் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகிறோம். கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழகத்தின் திறமையான பட்டதாரிகளாக உருவாக்கிய நீங்கள் கோவிட்-19 பல சவால்களை சமாளிக்க உங்களின் பிந்தைய மற்றும் சகிப்புத்தன்மை அங்கீகரிக்கும் இந்த வாய்ப்பை பயன்படுத்துகிறேன். அன்பான பெற்றோர்களே, நலன் விரும்பிகளே மற்றும் நண்பர்களே, எங்கள் அழகான தீவின் வரவிருக்கும் தலைமுறைக்கு உங்கள் கடின உழைப்பு மற்றும் கனவுகளை நிறைவேற்றப்படுவதற்கான இது உங்கள் வாழ்க்கையில் மறக்க முடியாத ஒரு தருணமாகும். பாதுகாப்பாக இருங்கள் மற்றும் ஒவ்வொரு சுகாதார விதிகளையும் பின்பற்றவும். நன்றி. On behalf of the Chancellor, members of the Council, Rector, Deans, Directors, Registrar, Bursar, Acting Librarian, academic and support staff of the University of Colombo, I extend to each and every one of you a very warm welcome to the General Convocation Ceremony of 2019. To these graduates of the University of Colombo, you have so much to be proud of, and we are indeed so delighted about your achievements. I also take this opportunity to recognize your resilience and tolerance of coping with the many challenges of COVID-19 as true products of the University of Colombo. Dear parents, well-wishers and friends, this is an unforgettable moment in your life to witness the fulfillment of your hard work and dreams for the upcoming generation of our beautiful island. I wish you a memorable ceremony. Stay safe and please adhere to every health rule. Thank you. Chancellor, Venerable Chancellor, and members of this congregation, I wish to invite our guest speaker to deliver the ceremonial graduation speech by reading his citation. He is none other than Professor Emeritus Saroj Jayasinghe, MBBS Colombo, MD Colombo, MRCP UK, MD Bristol, and PhD Colombo. Emeritus Professor of Medicine, Clinical Medicine, University of Colombo, and a consultant physician and a consultant to the Sabaragamuwa University at present. He is a fellow of the Ceylon College of Physicians, Royal College of Physicians, London, and the National Academy of Sciences of Sri Lanka. He was the first director of medical education in our country and played a leading role in curriculum reforms and was appointed founder head of the Department of Medical Humanities for the first time in the University of Sri Lanka, Colombo, and first in Sri Lanka. His research interests include kindness in education, health effects of meditation, and systems science. Thank you, Professor Jayasinghe, for gracing this occasion, and the floor is yours.
කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ කුලපති ස්වාමීන් වහන්සේ, Vice Chancellor, Deans, Heads of Departments, distinguished academic staff members and administrative staff, graduating students, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for inviting and granting me this honor to speak to the graduates of the Bachelor of Education and Bachelor of Labor Education at their ceremonial graduation. Students, my heartfelt congratulations to all of you. You are here today, we are here today to celebrate your achievements, to inspire you and to wish you the very best in all your future endeavors. You will be educating the future of our beloved Sri Lanka. I thought I will take this opportunity to share with you the role you could play to make our future, Sri Lanka's future, more peaceful, less competitive, and based more on compassion. Towards this, I will give you scientific evidence that humans have inherent goodness in them. And as teachers, you should promote the future generations so that you promote their goodness and move them away from violence. So you have a unique role to play. Next slide, please, yes. You have a unique role to play. We tend to think of humans as violent, as a violent species, and civilization is making them less violent. සත්ත්ව විශේෂයක් වශයෙන් අපි ප්‍රචණ්ඩ සත්ත්ව විශේෂයක් කියලා තමයි අපිට සාමාන්‍යයෙන් කියන්නේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඉතිහාසයෙන් බැලුවහම. නමුත් if you look at the scientific evidence, humans are a cooperative species. They are social animals. Mass-scale violence is relatively a new feature. So previously, though we thought that we are violent as a species, actually, if you look at it, humans are a peaceful species. And we have won and become like this because we have been cooperating with each other. Next slide, please. And this is argued in 2 books, and I urge you as teachers, you must read at least 20 to 30 books per year. If you don't read, your students will not read. So there have been 2 views. One is that we are violent, and the other is that we are peaceful. And you will realize that most religions will say that we are peaceful. Next slide, please. So over the next few minutes, I will share with you biological evidence and how we socialize to violence and the role you have to play. ජීව විද්‍යාත්මක සාක්ෂි පමණක් නෙමෙයි, ප්‍රචණ්ඩත්වයට අපි නැඹුරු වෙන්නේ කෙසේද? අනිත් අතින් බලනකොට ගුරුවරුන්ගේ භූමිකාව කුමක්ද? Next slide, please. Yes. Now, when you look at the biological evidence, even children as small as 6 months, 6 months, they can't speak. At 6 months, they want to be fair. So there are experiments they have done using images where they watch children, how they behave when certain things are distributed fairly or unfairly, and you look at the response of the infant, 6 months to 12 months. You find that infants and small children, in fact, cooperate. They don't compete. If you have children, you would have seen. Only when they become big and get your influence or influence of others, the adults, that they become competitive. Otherwise, children, if you leave children alone, they cooperate. They are peaceful. So this has shown, and several other experiments have shown, that our brain is in fact hardwired to cooperate. Our brain has been hardwired to be friendly, to cooperate. Next slide, please. Yes, so these are two examples of references from the scientific literature, and children as small as 6 months prefer people who help them, and children as small as 18 months tend to help each other. So how is it that our societies are so violent? What's the reason? Next slide, please. So these peaceful infants and children socialize to violence. They learn to be violent. They learn to be violent. This can be violence at home. This can be violence at school. This can be in the community, in the neighborhood, the media, the friends they have. And the end of the day, we find we are living in a violent society. Violence tends to be common. Of course, the media will always show you violence because that's how they get their ratings up. So even if the real levels are low, you will get the idea that there is a lot of violence if you watch media too much. So science has shown us that children are good, infants are good, and they learn to be violent, what we call socialize into violence. Next slide, please. And there are three main areas. One is, if you encourage aggressive interaction, gahuwat gahapang. When the child comes home crying to the father saying that the neighbor has hit, you should hit back. So you are teaching the child that you solve problems by violence. And as teachers, if you also shout and if you also hit, you are giving an example to the child. The example is that you solve problems by violence. Not by peaceful means, not by speaking, not by negotiation, but by violence. The other thing is, if you are a victim of violence, if you have been hit when you were a child, when you grow up also, you begin to hit and use violence on others. So that's another thing which happens. And the third thing is, of course, if you see violence, and that's where the media comes in. If you're all the time seeing violence, you will also learn to be violent. So these are three main areas that we identify scientifically how children become violent. So what can we do as teachers? Next slide, please. We have hope because there's a thing called Pygmalion effect. That is, if you tell the child, if you speak to the child is violent, you don't go and be violent to that child, but you say, I don't expect you to be violent. I know you are a good child. If you say that you expect good behavior, children also start behaving good. They behave nicely. And then the opposite is also true. If you lower their expectations and say, you are a violent fellow, you are useless, they will also become useless. So we know how infants are born. We know that we socialize to violence, and you will see the enormous influence you are going to have on the future generations. I will show you a small story. I don't know whether you can read it. Next slide, please. If you can read it, I will give you just 60 seconds. So this is a child of 6 years who was punished. And then after being punished, the child came home and told the father. The father also shouted. So very soon, you are seeing the effects I told you. You are seeing a victim, and you are seeing advice also on the wrong side. And very soon, the child was known as a Gorikarya, right? Troublemaker. And that's the effects I told you, Pygmalion and the other effects. So you become a Gorikarya. And then they develop into this subculture, a violent sort of groups, gangs, and how they end up. Next slide, please. So, in this final slide, I want you to reflect. You have a major role in making our nation peaceful. You should never use violence. You should use positive reinforcements rather than punishment at home as well as in schools. You must promote peace, harmony, and cooperation, and not only competition and individuality. The science is there, the scientific evidence is there for that. And also, you must have the expectations of encouraging your future generations of students to be better human beings, more compassionate, and more cooperative. Final slide, please. May you be the lamp that lights the lamps of peace in our future generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I would request Chancellor Venerable Sir, to give this token of appreciation to Professor Saroj Jaiswal. කුලපති ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ පාලක සභාව සනාතන සභාවේ නිර්දේශය මත අධ්‍යාපන පීඨයේ පීඨාධිපති විසින් උපස්ථිතයෙහි හා අනුපස්ථිතයෙහි ඉදිරිපත් කරනු ලබන බවතුන් වෙත අධ්‍යාපන වේදී උපාධිය ප්‍රදානය කිරීමට තීරණය කොට ඇති බව ගෞරවයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිමි.
வணக்கத்துக்குரிய வேந்தர் அவர்களே, மூதவையின் விதப்புரையின் பேரில் கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழக பேரவை கல்வி பீடாதிபதியினால் சமர்ப்பிக்கப்படும் பெயர்களை உடையோருக்கு நேர் சமூகத்திலும் சமூகம் இல்லாமலும் கல்விமானி பட்டத்தினை வழங்குவதற்கு தீர்மானித்துள்ளமையை தங்களுக்கு கௌரவத்துடன் அறியத் தருகிறேன்.
Venerable Chancellor, I have the honor to announce that the Council of the University of Colombo, on the recommendation of the Senate, has resolved that the degree of Bachelor of Education be conferred on those to be presented in person and in absentia by the Dean, Faculty of Education.
Venerable Chancellor, I have the honor to present the following names, those who have completed the Bachelor of Education offered by the Faculty of Education, University of Colombo. Let me present the following names. Adipattu, W.A.M.N.D. Afra, M.M.F. Arachi, L.A.J.L. Azima, A.C.F. Begum, M.F.R. Begum, M.R.F. Buddhakorala, D.P. Chandralata, E.A.D. Chiranti, L.G.S. Chiranti, W.A.R. Damayanti, R.M.I. Darshani, H.G.N. Disilva, D.M.P. Disilva, S.I.M. Dhanapala, D.S.S. Dilhani W.M. Dilrukshi D.G.M. Dinushika K.W.S. Disanayaka D.M.L.W. Disanayaka M.S.H. Disanayaka D.K.I.A. Edirisingha E.W.S.S. Fajila A.F. Farwin M.U.N. Farwin M.J.I. Farwin S.L.R. Fasna M.F.F. Fatima A.S.S. Fatima Rasifa M.M. Gunawardana T.I.R. Guru Singha N.H. Harishchandra K.H.S.R. Harshika W.P.S. Hasina M.H.P. Herath H.M.D.M. Herath S.P.S. Indunil P.S.S. Inshifa A.R. Irfana F. Jailat D.N.U. Jailat D.T.Y. Jayamana K.D.M.S. Jaisingha N.H.P.H.M. Jayasundara RMDP. What's this name? Oh, number? Right. DTY Jailath. Karyavasam KSK. Kavindi RAM. Kumari UKAV. Kumbalattara SRM. Lakmali YH. Laknima BBGD. Liyanage PH. Madhushani SAV. Madhuvanti WAKS. Madhuhansi GGI. Madhushani PMM. Madhuvanti KUGD. Mafasa AP. Malkanti MHI. Manamperi DD. Marasingha MASH. Masingha MAKN. Megasuria MMRS. Muhammad Majid AR. Munasingha TR. Munsira MSF. Nasidha YF. Nelumika HNS. Nifla MNF. Nilavira NRIS. Nilmalgoda PRAT. Nirmala HG. Nuwangi IGH. Nuwani GMN. Padmananda RDGK. Pereira BBTM. Pereira DGTH. Pereira EKS. Pereira MNM. Pereira WYB. Piumali HMP. Prabhashini EMM. Prabhashwara SMJ. Prabodha RMIH. Prasadini TTS. Premaratna MSN. Priyadarshani LWAN. Rajakaruna PHSR. Rajakaruna RKS. Ranatunga MPDNS. Rashidha SHF. Ratnaika RMNM. Rukshala Satsarani HM. Rusda MMF. Safwana MSF. Safna ASF. Sakuntala GCS. Saman Kumari WAN. Samarasingha SPM. Samudra VPD. Sanjeevani KW. Senaratna EACU. Senaviratna BAJ. Sevandi MAT. Sevandi VUR. Shamila PMU. Zazni SHM. Shirin AMM. Silva MSR. Teraputhabaya M. Venerable. Vimarshani WKN. Vinodani ATKM. Vikramanayaka N. Vikramasinghe GALS. Vijay Gunawardena HDMM. Venerable Chancellor, thank you very much.
කුලපති වශයෙන් මා වෙත පැවරී ඇති බලතල අනුව දැන් නම් කරන ලද බෞතුන් වෙත අධ්‍යාපනවේදී උපාධිය ප්‍රදානය කළ බව සනාථ කරමි.
வேந்தர் என்னும் தகமையில் எனக்கு அளிக்கப்பட்டுள்ள அதிகாரத்தின்படி தற்போது வாசிக்கப்பட்ட பெயர்களுடையோருக்கு கல்விபாணி பட்டம் வழங்கப்பட்டமையை உறுதிப்படுத்துகிறேன்.
By authority vested in me as Chancellor, I confer upon those whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Education.
කුලපති ස්වාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ පාලක සභාව සනාතන සභාවේ නිර්දේශය මත මානව සම්පත් අභිවර්ධන ආයතනයේ අධ්‍යක්ෂක විසින් උපස්ථිතයේ සහ අනුපස්ථිතයේහි ඉදිරිපත් කරනු ලබන බවතුන් වෙත ශ්‍රම අධ්‍යාපනවේදී උපාධිය ප්‍රදානය කිරීමට තීරණය කොට ඇති බව ගෞරවයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිමි.
வணக்கத்துக்குரிய வேந்தர் அவர்களே, மூதவையின் விதப்புரையின் பேரில் கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழக பேரவை மனிதவள மேம்பாட்டு நிறுவன பணிப்பாளரினால் சமர்ப்பிக்கப்படும் பெயர்களை உடையோருக்கு நேர் சமூகத்திலும் சமூகம் இல்லாமலும் தொழிலாளர் கல்விமானி பட்டத்தினை வழங்குவதற்கு தீர்மானித்துள்ளமையை தங்களுக்கு கௌரவத்துடன் அறிய தருகிறேன்.
Venerable Chancellor, I have the honor to announce that the Council of the University of Colombo, on the recommendation of the Senate, has resolved that the degree of Bachelor of Labour Education be conferred on those to be presented in person and in absentia by the Director, Institute of Human Resource Advancement.
Venerable Chancellor, on behalf of the Institute of Human Resource Advancement of the University of Colombo, I have the honor to present following list of graduates to confer the Bachelor of Labour Education degree. Abhiratna WCS. Abhay Vikrama MP. Agalakotuwa IL. Alagalla AGPS. Amaravira WAVH. Aponsu GYR. Bandara WANS, Chaturangi HGS, Chintaka UGP, Dayani PGTS, Dayaratna NGAM, The Alvis RASR, The Soisa RMI, Deepthimala MBD, Deshapriya MMN, Deshapriya WKKC, Dias PPRR, Dilrukshi MAD, Disanayaka DMAJ, Disanayaka NP, Disanayaka DMRAS, Disanayaka KGDC, Edirisuriya DUS, Ekanayaka EMDCB, Pranandu MAL, Fernando SAD, Fernando TNC, Gayampat PAG, Gunaratna KKK, Gunasekara HDDR, Gunasekara MSY, Hapuhinna HKDWMDSK, Hasara DMS, Hemachandra AAMR, Herat HMCS, Herat HMSN, Herath Bandara, HMA. Hettiarachchi, HASW. Hewagama, HLM. Jayakodi, JAPN. Jayalanka, MN. Jayalat, JBN. Jayamal, GASA. Jayasekara, YRIGTS. Jayasuriya, JASK. Jayasundara, JMGA. Jayavadana, SC. Jayavira, LWC. Jayavira, MAP. Kanchana, MADS. Kaumadi, BGWT. Kaushalya, JD. Ketmal, KHGH. Kodituakku, KKRM. Kularatna, GSP. Kulasuriya, KAS. Kumanayaka, NTS. Kumara, ACR. Kumari, DCMS. Madhuhansi, MGI. Madhusanka, PMR. Manage, WDDP. Manatunga, DNI. Manavaduge, KN. Manchanayaka, MAKPK. Mohottige JRS. Navodi WMNS. Nayana Kumari MVP. Nuanti WRPU. Padmabandhu PVMU. Patirana JPCNJ. Patirana UK. Patirana SDK. Pattini Gamage D. Piris GPD. Pereira KC. Pereira KDT. Pereira MPSL. Pereira PKU. Pereira RDVP. Pereira UPKP. Premasingha LGLS. Priyadarshani AL. Pushpakumara YDR. Ranasingha LRAS. Ranasingha RKJ. Ranavaka RDPD. Ranjula WT. Ratnasekara KD. Rodrigo BDC. Ruantika HDS. Samarakon EAI. Samarakon KGNS. Satsarani VGK. Senaratna MGKMSCKB. Senaviratna DGCL. Sewandi BD, Silva AAC, Silva RLANI, Sirivadana MGDN, Sirivadana BWRU, Somaratna HKD, Tabru MM, Umayangani HMADE, Utpala WDM, Vaidyaratna BLC, Vatsala JSB, Wattegama WWMP, Veerasinghe CS, Veeratunga RM, Valikanna SP, Vetasinghe WASB, Vikramarachi NC, Vijayanayaka KDI, Vijayaratna GHIS, Vijayasekara WASL, Venerable Chancellor, thank you very much.
කුලපති වශයෙන් මා වෙත පැවරී ඇති බඩතල අනුව දැන් නම් කරන ලද බෞද්ධුන් වෙත ධර්ම අධ්‍යාපනවේදී උපාධිය ප්‍රදානය කළ බව සනාථ කරමි.
வேந்தர் என்னும் தகமையில் எனக்கு அளிக்கப்பட்டுள்ள அதிகாரத்தின்படி தற்போது வாசிக்கப்பட்ட பெயர்களுடையோருக்கு தொழிலாளர் கல்விமானி பட்டம் வழங்கப்பட்டமையை உறுதிப்படுத்துகிறேன்.
By authority visit in me as Chancellor, I confer upon those whose names have been read the degree of Bachelor of Labor Education.
කුලපති සාමීන්ද්‍රයන් වහන්සේ කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ පාලක සභාව සනාථ සභාවේ නිර්දේශය මත මා විසින් ඉදිරිපත් කරන ලබන බවතුන් වෙත ඔවුන් විසින් දක්වන ලද කුසලතා මත රන් පදක්කම් සහ ත්‍යාග ප්‍රදානය කිරීමට තීරණය කොට ඇති බව ගෞරවයෙන් ප්‍රකාශ කර සිටිමි.
வணக்கத்துக்குரிய வேந்தர் அவர்களே, மூதவையின் விதப்புரையின் பேரில் கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழக பேரவை அதி உயர் திறமைகளை வெளிப்படுத்திய பின்வருவோருக்கு தங்கப் பதக்கங்களையும் பரிசில்களையும் வழங்குவதற்கு தீர்மானித்துள்ளமையை தங்களுக்கு கௌரவத்துடன் அறிய தருகிறேன்.
Venerable Chancellor, I have the honor to announce that the Council of the University of Colombo, on the recommendation of the Senate, has resolved that the gold medals and prizes be awarded to those to be presented for having achieved the highest standard of excellence. Paulis and Millie Jayasuriya Prize for Education, VPD Samudra. Professor S. Rupasinghe Gold Medal for Education, VPD Samudra. The late Mr. H.M. Seneviratna Memorial Gold Medal for Education, GALS Wickramasinghe. Dr. Anula Hettige Gold Medal for Best Performance in Teaching Practice, Faculty of Education, EKS Pereira. Mr. and Mrs. SDH Jayawardena Gold Medal for Education, awarded jointly EKS Pereira and VPD Samudra.
කොළඹ විශ්වවිද්‍යාලයේ 2019 වසරේ උපාය සැමරුම් උත්සවයේ මෙම සැසිවාරය කල්දමනු ලැබූ බව ප්‍රකාශ කරමි.
கொழும்பு பல்கலைக்கழக 2019ஆம் ஆண்டிற்கான சம்பிரதாயபூர்வமான பட்டமளிப்பு வைபவத்தின் தற்போதைய அமர்வு இத்தால் பிற்போடப்படுகிறது என்பதை நான் பிரகடனப்படுத்துகிறேன்.
I now declare the current session of the year 2019 ceremonial graduation of the University of Colombo is adjourned.